time, it was really shitty. Let's see here.
How are ya?
Hi, how are you? Let's sell something. Hey, get my first piece of gold. I don't really need that. Bam! 1 gold, 1 silver, and 77 copper, dude.
Safe
How tight
travels.
is that? That's what I'm talking about, baby. Now, the reason I came back here is I need a bigger bag, dude. Some lame amounts of space. And if I get a whole gold, you better believe give me some bags. It's a soul bag. Oh, the fuck that? Yeah, this is... Let's not get a link. Do silk. Let's put silk. Yeah. Expensive, but goddamn 10 whole slots sounds awful. How is this the first page? Yeah, that's the show. It's cheaper. Almost bought something more expensive. Is there anything cheaper than that? Or let's get these two 34 silver ones. Can I afford another? Ah, oh, fuck. It's out. Now I'm broke. I had a whole gold and now I'm broke again. Isn't that how World of Warcraft works? 33 silver. Well. It's getting to a point where I can actually make money. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of myself because when I initially played WoW, I was always fucking broke. I had money. I mean, it's just like real life, right? You never have the money when you need it. Here. Second, let's go back to my bags. This is gonna help out so much.
I can't put that there.
Why? Okay, well, in that case, let's put this one here. That up. Put this junk in here, so we're not gonna need that. I gotta have this bow, I can sell that shit. Really get into the auction house, I'm not gonna lie. It's been a explorative period of time in my life. Okay, so now we are gonna put that there. Awesome. Now I've got all these extra slots. Hell yes. Talking about. I mean, it's not a fuck ton of extra slots. I just now realized I could have probably got a bucket. I mean, is there bigger bags? I should have thought that. God, didn't I think of that? Because I'm stupid or something. Pretty sure it's that. God, someone's selling some linen bags for 2 gold. Were you crazy? Oh, these are small silk. This one's 40 slots. Is that the biggest they got? 10 gold. Damn. Okay, well, so it wouldn't matter anyways. I can't afford it. I'm pretty broke. I don't have 10 gold. That's not happening. But what I can do now is, let's go throw some shit. You know what? Actually, let's throw some stuff on. Let's do this. Put that there. Get out of that. Let's get weapons. Let's see how much this bow is worth. I picked it up earlier, and it looked like it would be worth a pretty penny. This guy's got it $14.95. This guy's got it $15. This guy's got it $24. Let's look at the stats I have on. I guess it's all gonna be the same. I'm retarded. I don't know why I thought it'd be different. Okay, well, I'm gonna put it at 15 silver. It seems like a good price. Looks like a nice. Wait, let's. Ah, I'll buy it at a high price. Probably no one gets that reference. If you don't get that reference, dude, come on. Actually, that's the dumbest thing I think I said. Can I sell these? Yeah, I can sell it. Cool. How much are these worth now? Probably nothing. Let's get out weapons. Let's go back to containers. Specs. Shift. Go. Or silver. Yeah, I'll sell mine for 4. Seems like a good price to sell it at. Not 44. God, please no. That'd be a good idea. Hell yeah. Okay, cool. Forget about that. And is there anything else I need to sell in here? It's looking pretty much.
Interest you on a pint?
Sounds like a plan, little. Is there anything else I need? I don't need milk. I'm not a mage. I don't have any, anything that are mana. Now, yeah, put that in there. Keep those apples. They give jack shit in terms of health. I don't need that. Just don't know. How many? So 25 out of 52. So I have half of my slots
What's your back?
Awesome. Perfect. Now, let us go back to questing.
What's on your mind? Safe.
Alright, and so starts the YouTube portion of this video. People of the net, it's Little Hands 91, and you know, it's crazy because I was like, oh, I'm gonna start recording regularly now. Well, problem happened. There was a slight problem, and that problem was that my, for whatever reason, my recording software is not cooperating with me. I'm pretty sure it's because I naively changed some settings, and man, did it royally fuck up my ability to create videos. And I realized this in the midst of the Call of Duty or the Modern Warfare 4 beta, and it's kind of funny about that is I still managed to get pretty good footage, and I plan on releasing that over time, and we're getting really excited about the coming beta event on September 12th, and I will also be recording and streaming that. But yeah, I had meant to be recording my World of Warcraft gameplay, but because it was so fucked, I just couldn't do it. So I just said, hell with it. I am going to just play this game. And I'm glad that I did it that way. I'm glad that I didn't initially record this game, because I feel like I needed to get a feel for it. Well, there's something like when you're making videos or you're streaming, sometimes it kind of distracts me and pulls me out of the game, because I'm more focused on entertaining the audience, which is probably not the way it should be. I should be more focused on being me, rather than creating some sort of weird-ass persona, but sometimes it feels almost impossible to do for me. Sometimes I start acting this really strange way, um, and I can tell it immediately, and it just makes me feel bleh. So I'm glad I started by just seeing how I felt about it. And man, can I tell you, I am pretty addicted. I like this game. Well, I would say addicted. I don't spend an insane amount of time, but I've spent a good portion of time recently playing this game. I'm not in any rush to get to level 60. I know a lot of people are like, oh, level 60, you gotta get to level 60. I'm not really in that kind of a rush. I took my time and created another character on RP server, which I will be doing. Um, but I started this Dwarven Rogue on Mancrick because I have a couple friends that are playing on the server, and they are 10 times further than I'll probably ever get. But yeah, hopefully I can catch up to them. Now, continuing on, like I said, I'm not in any hurry. So what I like to do when I'm not, you know, trying to level is I'm just constantly farming materials. I love messing with the auction house. Um, I mean, both of my professions are herbalism and skinning. Uh, and, you know, then I have my secondary skills and stuff like that, like fishing, cooking, and first aid, which they're not that advanced, but my herbalism and skinning are getting up there. And that's what I've been trying to do. Because, I mean, in a way, it goes hand in hand with leveling, because if you're trying to level those skills up now, I have to go kill stronger enemies and farm the materials off of them, and that, of course, makes it a little bit easier to, I guess, put up with the grind, because I'm not just grinding to level my character, but I'm also grinding to level these skills up, if that makes any sense. I think that makes 100% sense. Anyways. But yeah, this is the first time I've played on the Alliance. Every character I've ever had prior to this has been Horde. A friend of mine named Jacob Glass, he was like, I remember when we were kids, that's all he was like, oh, the Horde is amazing, oh yeah, we're gonna be Horde. And then I got back into this game. I picked up BFA a couple months before the classic version released, and I was like, so he's like, yeah, let's level up so we can play together. It's like, you still in the Horde? And he's like, oh no, I'm Alliance now. I was like, what the fuck? How are you going? How did you make that change? Anyways, and he still thinks BFA is better. That basically World of Warcraft Classic is just nostalgia, and BFA is freaking amazing as far as I know. But I'll be honest, I couldn't get into BFA once Classic came out, and I was kind of skeptical at first because I was like, am I really going to get into this? And the answer was, hell yes, I'm going to really get into this. Like, I can't help it. And I think the reason that I'm really into World of Warcraft Classic over other iterations, or other, I guess, retail or BFA is what they I think the reasoning is that I like roleplay mechanics, and I feel like BFA is just a gutted. It doesn't really seem like a role-playing game at all to me, because you're really just focused on progression. I like.
What can I do for you?
I know that /E is still probably an option,
See you later.
but
Greetings.
it just doesn't seem
See you around.
as important anymore. I mean, when you're out in the open and you run into other people, you can hit /E and then create, like, Severborn is falling asleep, or I don't know, getting sleepy? Oh, yeah, I didn't even spell that right. It's like getting sleepy. God damn it. Severborn is getting sleepy, and so you can kind of do this and create you're kind of making this universe around you. You're creating your character and developing their personality, not just through the your E system, but also how your character interacts with these other players. And of course, I'm not playing. Man Creek is not a RP server, but I still do my fair share of role playing. Because to me, that's where the fun is at. Of course, my role playing server, I made an undead character because outside of dwarves, the undead is my favorite class. And God, if only they could have been like, hey, guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna make a undead dwarf. I would totally be that in a heartbeat. I'd be an undead fucking, because that is fucking amazing. So these are the two things I'm obsessed with at this point: undeads and dwarfs. And I don't even fucking know if that's a good thing to say, because I feel like people of small stature, is that a good way to put it? I don't want to. Oh shit! Am I getting attacked? I am getting attacked by this little fuckhead. Come. Oh no, I'm not. This place looks dangerous as fuck. I don't like this. Dude, you can stealth swim up this fucking. Sir. Oh. You look the other way. God, I'm so slow. Come on. I mean, I wouldn't expect dwarves to be expert swimmers. Let's go ahead and turn on evasion. Let's speed up my strikes. Slice and dice. Keep doing sinister strike. Build up those combo points. Now, no, I'm just gonna miss a fuck ton. And that was unfortunate. Come on, pick it up, Sev. Oh, I might die. There's a very, very good chance. Oh, did I drown? Oh, I didn't pay attention to my. Oh, I'm retarded. Just wasted a health potion. Son of a dick. Oh, God. Well, you know, you win some, you lose some. I got these health potions strictly because I was like, well, this will allow me to go out and fight higher level shit. And help me grind these higher level mobs. But, I don't know. Apparently I'm not intelligent enough to realize that, I was drowning. I even heard that sound like... And I was like, what the fuck is that sound? And then I realized, oh shit, I'm drowning. Should have thought about that. I don't even know if I need to kill these. Oh shit. Oh no. God no. Speed up. Oh, does sprint not work underwater? That would make sense, actually. I'm gonna die again. Oh. Dude, I swear to God, I'm not healing myself. I'm not wasting a potion. Oh, did I just survive that? Oh my God, Becky. Oh my God, Becky. That is what I'm talking about, dude. Hell yeah. Hell. I'm proud of myself. That's for sure. Let's go ahead and eat this chicken. Chicken. But, anyways. So, I didn't realize how hard it was to level around. I'm definitely struggling, at level 15. Because I feel like I've done a good majority of the quests that were a level range. I am doing some more quests off towards the western. What do you call this? The Westfall. But since I don't have like a flight path there, God, he scared the shit out of me. I didn't even see him. I just saw that fucking butthole dick. He came out of the water. He's like, I ambush, motherfucker. Alright. See here. I am gonna stab you, sir. It's like that scene from Minority Report. His innocence. He's like, he finds out the dude that he was predicted to kill. Shit, that scared me. Did something that I think it actually killed his daughter or kidnapped his daughter or something. I can't remember. Oh, fuck. To the surface. Me and you, sir.
Not enough energy.
I hear you.
Energy.
Dude, I am not getting this one. Oh no, sir. He's gonna kill my asshole. Yeah, I'm gonna start strong. Okay, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Yep, level 19. Why am I fucking with this? Please, God. Well. Son of a dick. So that's, yeah, it's fucking up my gear pretty good. Oh well. Is there a flight path out here? Because if there is, I'm gonna talk to them and fly back. Shit, there's a flight path. I flew out here. I am right. Alright. Thank you. So let's resurrect. I'm gonna go repair my shit and stop being an idiot. And, enough fucking around with parts because, I hate to say it, it's not where I need to be. I'm gonna fly back a little. Yeah, I can find, because I did find some areas where I could level up. And again, I think a lot of it has to do with me needing to grind. If I grind, then be good. Or I could just group up with some people. I used to hate grouping, but man, dude, I've just like up to people. I'm like, dude, no, get the fuck away from me. You, dude. When was the last time you showered? Actually, I had a job interview today, and this lady was like, "What's some constructive criticism that helped you?" And I was like, I just started laughing. I was like, "Take a shower." And she actually wrote it down, and I'm really worried about that. I probably should not have said that. She's like, "This kid, he does not need to be working for this company." But you know, if it does work out, man, I'll tell you what, I might actually be worried about the. They might have extremely low standards. I don't know if that's the case or not. Okay. I did fly out here. Positive. There is a... Here. Let's go talk to him. Because apparently, I can't remember jack shit. Especially when I'm making videos, dude. This stuff distracts the fuck. It's not good for my ADD, that's for sure. Still haven't repaired my shit.
Looking for something specific?
No.
Farewell.
Not at all.
What can I do?
But, I don't know what this guy is. But I know where I can go. Let's get out of here. Oh, hey, there he is. Look at me. Just fly out to Stormwind. Get me a little bit closer to work. Is it really that far up? Besides, there's shit I can take that. It's a level 18. Let's wait. I'm gonna say I'm gonna keep it at about 2 levels higher than I. Shit, if you kill sheep, does that give you scum? Oh, that'd be too easy, because wool's worth quite a bit in this game. You know, it's funny, because I remember when, me and my friends, we used to farm. And, we would farm it just to, at this one place on the Horde. We would go to this one area, the Venture Cove Company, or whatever they call it. And we farmed Well, and for a reason, dude, you could sell a stack of 20 for a piece of gold. And, oh, it blew my mind. Now I can spend all day just grinding.
Not enough energy. Enough energy.
Us, let's do battle. Sure. Oh, I didn't even need my eviscerate. This is a part of this line. Pretty simple. Simple. Shit.
I don't have enough. Not enough energy.
Ah. Tarantula met his maker. So anyways, the other day I watched two freaking fantastic movies with my brother. One was called, I think it was called You Never Really Here. We Were Never Really Here. It was some movie with Joaquin Phoenix where he's like paid to go find people who get, like kids who get kidnapped or some shit. And he usually ends up fucking people up. Because he's a former Marine who struggles with PTSD more ways than one, not just combat, but because he was abused as a kid and all sorts of crazy stuff. And
Not enough energy.
yeah, it really messes him up, and it plays throughout the entire movie. But man, it was probably one of the better movies I've seen in a long time, and I also think that it's got me really excited about what he's gonna do with the Joker character. Hoping that's gonna be the fuck. Why did my guy go stealth? Fuck. Here, Mr. Pig. And then we watched that movie. What do you call it? Hereditary. And oh my god. If you have ever seen this movie and did by the end of it think, what the living shit did I just watch? And I'm not talking crap about it. The movie was actually fairly cool. Not gonna lie. And I know that I don't know how popular of an opinion that is. I know probably to a lot of people that movie is like, I don't know, my brother told me when he went to see it in the theater, someone literally stood up in the middle of the movie and was like, this is fucking stupid. And the truth is I don't think it's fucking stupid. I think it's pretty goddamn smart filming. And I feel like the scary part of the movie was actually in the background more than it was the
range.
you know, it's not just what's happening to this family. The supernatural part to the movie is very subtle. So it's not just out in your face. It's the movie. A lot of it just looks like your story about this family. But the family, in fact, everything that's happening to them is interlinked to supernatural. And it just doesn't quite come across at first. And man, it just gets weird. The last like 20 minutes is like, oh, what is going? I don't even know what to think about it. It just literally was one of the weirdest things I think I've ever witnessed. But I liked it, and I think I liked the dude who directs the movies because I even liked his other movie, Midsummer, which was one of those weirdo movies. And the movies also seem to have a lot in common, kind of how they ended and how the characters developed throughout the movie. Kind of the fate of all the supporting cast, so to speak. So, I mean, man, if you seen that movie, you should look at it. But goddamn, I feel like most of you are. This is weird as fuck, and I don't even. This guy, he's a little. Stab him in the back. It's gonna take me an hour and six minutes, 1.6 hours to.
Too far away.
We're gonna be. Wow, you dodged? Seriously? Let's back up. Let this guy come. I kicked him. God. I might get killed right now. Yep. I'm gonna die. Oh, wait. Stand your ground, Severbolt. Hey, this guy might help me. He saved me, dude. He saved me. Dude, look at me. I got lucky. And anytime Little Man's 91 gets lucky, he is a happy man. So now that I have actually fixed up my BS settings, I do plan on recording a bit more frequently. I don't know how frequent videos will come. This might become something I'm obsessed with. Again, I'm not really looking to get famous. I don't think I'll ever make money on any of these platforms. I mean, technically, I guess I've made some money on DLive. I guess. I don't know, to be honest. Outside of DLive, I haven't really made any money. And I kind of just do this as a hobby. So if you like someone, because this is something they just love to do, you know, feel free to follow me, I guess. I mean, I don't know what's the alternative, as opposed to what. If you don't love that, then don't you dare fucking follow. I don't understand what I was trying to say there, but I do this as a hobby, and I don't really give a fuck what people think. So this is basically just gonna have the 1% unfiltered me, and basically what I'm gonna do is just ramble while I'm doing something on my computer, and I think people like that. One of my favorite YouTubers right now, Udahar, some ordinary gamer, and dude, that guy is just awesome. Like, I love watching him go to the dark web and discover all this weird shit. I like all the weird topics he talks about. And his channel, to me, I feel like he really should be a lot bigger than he is, but at the same time, I guess I'm glad he's not. And I think the reason what I mean by that is, I feel like once you get to a certain size, most YouTubers change. And I think a good example for me is like H3 and the H3 podcast. Like, when I first started getting into YouTube, H3 was like one of my favorite YouTube channels. I just thought it was absolutely funniest. I mean, whether you like the direction H3 has taken with their productions, I think it's pretty disputable that Ethan Klein is pretty freaking hilarious. But when I watch this podcast, I don't know what it is about him that he just comes off. I don't know. I don't like his podcast. I just can't get into it. I think I like more positive podcasts. And I'm not like trying to hide myself from all the negativity. I'm a pretty dark sense of humor individual. But I guess what I mean is, when I watch his podcast, I get a very toxic vibe from it. And it seems like when they're talking, much of it is a very echo chamber-ish environment. And then you have Ela, who is awesome, you know, because I feel like she's just constantly trying to save, keep anything from stepping in what he says, and unfortunately, it's kind of hard for him because Ethan, I think almost every podcast finds some way to piss off a big group of his audience. But I'm not saying Mutahar would, some ordinary gamer would necessarily change in that way. But I mean, I'm sure you can come up with a ton of examples how YouTubers gets to a certain size, they change in a way that makes you absolutely hate them. Even PewDiePie, I have a friend of mine who's in love with PewDiePie's older content, and I hated his older content. He first started, I couldn't stand PewDiePie. Just thought he's the most annoying kid I've ever seen on YouTube. But his newest content to me is just amazing. Because I feel like he's being very real, he's being himself, and I don't think he tries to bend himself to his audience's opinion. And I like that. I like that in an individual, someone who's very honest with what they think, even if it's like to a bunch of other people very offensive. That's a very I don't have much respect for people that try to bend their language to just for the sake of maybe improving their standing or gaining clout. But I guess at the end of the day, that's what YouTubers are here to do, is get clout. But for me, I can't change me so that way people watch my content. And even if I were to somehow, break a certain mold in terms of, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say I get like more than 1,000 subscribers. Probably never gonna happen, but let's just say that happens. No matter how many subscribers I get, I don't want that to be a problem for me. I don't want it to get to a point. Are these guys how? Let's go fuck this guy. I don't want to get to a point where my ego swells so large that I change in a way, start acting in a way that maybe pisses off people that originally supported me as a creator. That makes any sense. Jesus Christ. Dude, I'm really good at rambling while I play video. I'm not good at sticking to a particular topic. That might be my ADD. I'm pretty good at rambling, dude. Going on. And not all my games are gameplay videos are gonna be rambling. But I mean, I'm just chillaxing and playing video games. So I feel like that's I feel like World of Warcraft is one of those perfect games where you can kind of just chill out, and oftentimes on my second monitor I'll have like a YouTube video up and I'll watch what's going on with that, or damn, that poison almost fucking still poisoned me. So let me slow down here. I had to jump into combat with this is it pygmy? Seems like web spider. Pygmy venom web spider. That is a long. Let's say for something. Alright, let's get out of here. But yeah, you can. When I was asked one of my strengths by what do you call it? By the person interviewing me. Oh God, Jesus. I said I never shut the fuck up, and it's absolutely true. I just blab, and blab, and it's just it's a problem I've always had. Not necessarily. I mean, if I'm having a conversation with someone else, obviously I'm gonna let them have a chance to respond to me, because I'm actually more interested in what other people think. Probably what I'm interested in, what I think. That's why I've become such a reader recently, because I want to read. God, Becky, I thought I was gonna get poisoned to death. Let's eat some chicken. Chicken to the rescue, baby. Support. Looks like chicken. Um, but yeah. What was I talking? See, there's that ADD. Lost track. Never stop talking, and it kind of. I think that's kind of a strength for YouTube because I can kind of just talk about whatever's on my mind. And if you're gonna watch content, that's exactly what it's gonna be. Is just like whatever my ADD field thought process. That's what you're gonna get. If you're that or you have ADD and you're like, hell yeah, I can get down with that, then that's hang out with me, man. Hang out with me. Take me 58 minutes to find a place that I should be. Let's go back. I'm gonna go venture out towards the west land, some shit, I don't know. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out a different. Man, I'm surprised how well this is recorded. Yes, is that fun software. But yeah. So I think I have a never-ending fascination with existence, and I think that's what makes it to where I can just talk about just about anything. Because I want to hear what I like to learn about things that I've never heard of. And I feel like one of the best ways to learn is to listen to what someone else thinks, not to let your own ego and be like, oh, my viewpoints are better. Don't be a Ben Shapiro. Don't be a Ben Shapiro in this world. Be a, I don't know, be yourself. Be yourself. And don't realize that a majority of humanity is absolutely fucking... That is baseline humanity, is retarded. I'm trying to pick on it. Let's get a little
I'm out of
aggro that guy. I'm not trying to make it fun of anybody. I was considered special needs when I was a younger individual. Sure, I don't think you were out of special needs. I don't think you just like one day you're like, oh, special needs anymore. But I literally think baseline humanity is stupidity. That you're baseline stupid, and the problem with majority of humanity is that they don't. So maybe they don't accept it. I'm not really sure exactly how I might put that, but ooh, there's some stuff over. But. And one of the problems with the people who necessarily might be a little bit above that baseline is that they kind of they feel like they have to yell and argue with the baseline. And I'm not trying to say I'm above the baseline. I don't know. I've always considered myself stupid. But the reason when I accepted and embraced that idea, it made it a lot easier at the rest of the world and open my mind to it, listen to what other people have to say, and not get that heat reaction in your stomach when someone says something that you don't necessarily agree with, that might conflict with something you are saying. In fact, I don't really have any hardcore views. I'm pretty much like, people are like, oh, I don't have an answer for that. I mean, I guess on a card it says I'm a Democrat. I don't fucking know. I don't give a shit about either one. They're both full of shit. Waste my time getting upset about who the president is and who the senator is or governor or whatever. I'm going to spend my time focused on the things that I love. And I guess what I love is individuality and seeing what... not just in myself, but in other people. See what makes them. Because, I mean, yeah. Sometimes I feel like people don't realize how individualistic everybody really is, because get convinced to parrot all these talking points. I mean, how many Democrats stray away from their the the major Democrat talking points and have their own opinions. I disagree with the opinions of the Democrats. How many Republicans stray away from traditional ideology and might differ in some places than their counterparts? And I'm sure there are probably more than we realize, but Facebook and social media makes it to where it's like, everybody is narrow-minded as fuck. It seems that way. God, if there's ever been a brainwashing device used in this world, it's fucking Facebook. It's ridiculous. Man, am I done? Did I finally hit the end of all those thoughts? I've been rambling like 7 minutes. But I'm gonna keep going on this train of thought because I was actually enjoying. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about Facebook is you get these pages, like, and even if you're liking a page that doesn't necessarily seem to have or claim to have a political thing, this page might make a lot of posts that are in favor of a particular political affiliation, critical of a certain political party, and not the other. Or might be like, this religion's the greatest religion ever. You're so right, and everybody else outside this religion is lost. And people, instead of people formulating these well-formulated opinions and well-formulated, their own well-formulated arguments about why they believe what they believe, instead of doing that, they go to these echo chambers. People are just basically parroting the same ideas. And they're never like these big arguments. They're like bite-sized portions of the argument. Like on a meme or something. And I guess what's become the meme now, as PewDiePie says, is, let's see, can I get the... sneak on. I'm not getting any XP from these guys. Yeah, savage. I wanted to get behind him and stab him in the back. I guess I could have. I just was like lazy and decided to bash him in the fucking head and savage. But yeah, basically Facebook becomes this like echo chamber, and anytime you're in an echo chamber, like that's super dangerous, because you're basically losing any type of intellectual progression that you have in life to these individuals who they want to believe this one specific thing, this one specific way of thinking, and it's really sad and very rampant in today's society, I think, especially in America. I don't know about else, but Americans, I feel like, are very susceptible to this is how you should think mentality. And you create this echo chamber by liking pages that support your views in the first place. I think what's more important is to actually go out and listen to other views that you've never heard before. Maybe a different perspective on a view that you might. Because perspective really ends up being everything, I think, in terms of knowledge, because, unfortunately, as people, many of us are locked in one perspective, and, I don't know, I feel like I'm not the worst. I shouldn't make this statement, but I feel like I'm not the worst at viewing things from multiple perspectives, but even if I have that ability, it becomes this problem that I don't really think it's possible to see from every perspective. And I know it's not possible. You can't see from every perspective. But if you go out and talk to an individual ask them serious questions, not like don't talk to them. And instead of fighting and arguing about what they think, instead ask them questions. Take their statement and take it to another level. Maybe guns would be a good example because America right now, that's the big debate: is where do we got farms? How are we going to reduce the amount of mass shootings and protect the people in this country? Um, and the big thing for the left is we need to start banning things. Um, and I don't know, maybe that's a good idea. But then you have people on the right who just do not seem to think that's a good idea. And instead of listening to each other, they just scream and shout and yell. One side does a very slippery slope argument, like, "Oh well, if you, if you ban the guns, so these are going to be, rise up in America or some crazy shit." And then the other side's like, or there's going to be a civil war, which I'll be honest, because there's a lot of Americans that are very diehard about their but then you have the other side who's like, they're just not going to agree on anything. And I feel like sometimes they do it on purpose. They're not wanting to look at facts. They're wanting to look at how they feel about the problem at hand. Do I have much more time? Maybe I could just been talking. I guess how long I ever play World of Warcraft. In general, that's probably the biggest mistake that we ever make. And we always talk about, you hear this idea of civil war being thrown in America. Truth is, the reason it's a lot like Civil War is that when we were debating what to do slavery towards the inception of the United States of America, like Revolutionary over, and you had the Federalists and the Anti-Federalists arguing about what form of government they should have. Many of them anti-slavery. Many of them thought, hey, it's time to do away with this institution. And unfortunately, they didn't see a way to do it at the time because they thought, well, this is going to alienate slave owners, and that'll make the unification of our country that much more difficult. Shit, that's a lot of guys. And they're low stealth. Just gonna pass over. That's how badass of a steal their shit right out from it. Puts their treasure right outside an outhouse. But we saw slavery come to an end, and fortunately for the founding fathers, the cotton gin was invented, and slavery just went through the an institution that looked like it was about to fall apart got a second wind, and we started these movements where the North was trying to say, hey, we need to get rid of slavery, and the North started being like, okay, we're not gonna have slavery in these states, and the South was like, hey, we don't we're gonna have slavery in every state, and that gave them this increasingly powerful amount of political power, because the population, slaves counted as a population, or the population, and electorals, representatives selected by how large the populations were in each state. So that gave the South this unfair balance of power, and the North was like, hey, we don't like that. they needed to reduce it to make things fair, so they did the 3/5 compromise. And that compromise did reduce the power of the South for a bit, but not enough and not long enough to stave off this civil war that almost happened right there. I mean, what was the 3/4 compromise? Three-fourths compromise. All right, so the 3/4 compromise, 1787. So it's 1787. 3/5. I'm retarded. 3/5 compromise. 1787. Uh, there was ramblings about civil war because people were like, "Oh, I don't know how we should handle this. How to handle the issue of slavery? How to do we count them as the population? Do we? If if we do count as the population, then the South is going to have an unfair control over systems in the United States of America." Well, the when this act was the 3/5 compromise was enacted, um, yeah, like I said, it did reduce the political power of the South, but the problem is the South just kept importing tons and tons of slaves, and so that means over time your uh, political power is just going to increase because the amount of population growth you're having. Of course, the North they also had some slave plantations located in the nowhere near as many as in the South, and with the Louisiana Purchase uh, and the race westward, um, this continued to exacerbate. What do we do about slavery? The states do we bring that we're bringing into the United States of America? We're gonna as slave states and non-slave states, and this several times prior to the Civil War sparked Civil War. So it's crazy that so you have the Kansas-Nebraska Act, which was an attempt to Civil War. Also, whenever Nevada and Utah and Texas and California, not Texas, but California, they were all bought in. They also became like this argument about do we bring slaves. The Nebraska-Kansas Act drew a line down the middle of the United States, separating South from North. Basically, just said, "Hey, any state below this line cannot own slaves," and eventually they got to a point where it was like they kept bringing in states, and even states that were above the line, they were like, "Hey, we want to bring in slavery in the state, and we think that you shouldn't leave. You shouldn't decide for yourself which ones can." Slave states, that should not be a federal choice. That should be a state choice that should be decided by the people. And yeah, dang, how long did I go on? God damn. Shit. Anyways, what was I getting at? Slavery's bad, guys. That's a pretty good point. Shit, I can't help it, guys. I'm retarded. Let's go over here to this farm. Jesus Christ. You know, it's funny. I just got done rambling hours for at least a good 40 minutes about the leading up to the Civil War, and I don't know how the hell I got there. It's a beautiful thing of ADD, man. You're playing a game that doesn't take too much mental capacity to play. your mind just kind of freely explore these weird ass ideas you have.
Don't have
Marvin Skull, get the fuck out of my face, dude.
inventory is
Oh my god, are you serious? I just bought a bunch of bigger bags and it's full. I don't need that. Okra. Get this okra so I can finish this goddamn quest. And I forgot how hard it was to. Oh shit! I should have myself. Here, let's do slice and dice, and then we're going to. I like slice and dice because it just makes it to where I can build up my energy faster. And I usually do lower strikes at my miss rate. Okay. Need more okra. Go for some fried okra. Shit. Is it perceptive? It's raining. It's almost like a cartoon. Yeah. This game is. Dang, I gotta kill 20 facts. It's alright, it's about 46 minutes. I'm gonna see me. You don't.
ready yet. I can't.
That was the most failed stealth.
Not enough energy.
Sam Fisher. God, what the hell, dude? I like the way these guys look. Where did these guys come from? They're like not functioning or something. See if the gnomes made them. Yeah, it's a really cool death animation too. It's a lot better than the just regular, you know. Let's see what stab this. Yeah, backstab.
Not enough energy. Don't have enough energy.
Is that a part? Do I need to need this? And 20 guys later, it's dude. I feel like it would take like an entire just to get through single quest. Here's one thing about YouTube and Twitch that I wouldn't mind. Let's not go back to the Civil War because God, I was like, dude, I'm gonna be here like 3 hours from now talking about the Civil War started. But YouTube and Twitch, streaming in general, just says YouTube streaming, because I stream not only on Twitch but DLive, Mixer,
Not enough energy.
YouTube. I stream on everything, I think, at this point. So, I think, I see a lot of these people make a career out of streaming in YouTube. I see all these people that really attempt, like, oh, I'm going to hardcore, I gotta make money. Like, Darkside Phil is a good example of someone who's made a career out of streaming. And I'm guessing he probably makes plenty of money on his past ventures on YouTube and other streaming sites, and his current venture, which, he's a complete asshole. I don't like him. With that being said, I can't slide him in for just wanting to make a living for himself. But I feel like, I see a lot of these kids, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna become a streamer," and they stream every day, and then no one's watching them, like me right now, and there's no one's watching them, and they stake everything on their streams and on their I kill Jesus Christ. Let's see anybody else out there. Anyways, they're like, that's where I'm gonna make my money, I guess. And I think even if I got a following, it would be really hard for me to say to myself, oh, that's what I'm gonna do as a career. Like, I'm gonna try everything else to get work living. I'm just gonna stream videos. I guess technically that is work nowadays. I'm going to stream. I'm going to record these videos and make my money that way. And it's not. I guess it's not a very lucrative proposition. First, because you really got to be consistent and you got to really be an entertaining person. But you see these people, they don't have anybody watching them, but that's what they want to do. That's their dream and passion. But it's also the dream and passion of like 4 million other people, which makes it a very competitive job market. Like that. Even if somehow I started making like $1,000 a month, YouTube. Oh god, they are so good at cashing. It's pissing me off. I not give up like a job to do this. I think, because again, I said in the past, this is a hobby to me, but I think a lot of people do this instead of as a hobby. Moreover, as a hey, he's got some. Oh yeah, instead of doing things as a hobby, they're like, I'm gonna do this. That's where everybody's going to make money. Be honest, if I was a really hot, sexy, big-titted woman, I might make tons of money. But I'm not a hot, sexy, big-titted woman. Definitely no PewDiePie. Or any of these people that you... I'm no ninja. I'm definitely not skilled enough to stop being a ninja. But, that being said, I think that I have a personality that would at least attract a small amount of viewers, and even if I was wrong and it happened to be a lot more than I think it would be, I would, and I started making all this cash, I'd be just like, no, that's cool, I'll keep doing this as a side thing, but I'll teach English in Japan on this as a main career. I just don't understand how people give so much of themselves. I think what it is really is that they see the lifestyle that PewDiePie and all these other famous YouTubers and streamers have created for themselves, and they're like, oh, that's what I want to be. But the problem is that they see the money, but they don't see the hardship that goes with the YouTuber streamer lifestyle. One that you're constantly being watched by people, especially on YouTube. It's constantly changing their policies about what is monetizable and what is not, what is appropriate and what is not. And then you have Twitch that obviously has a preference towards its bigger earners, and they have a lot more freedom to do things that are against you, son of a bitch. I'm getting sick and tired of this, because I keep hitting stealth and somehow or another they're like, oh, there it is. yeah, I know I can, there's a skill I can upgrade, and I won't worry about this anymore. I'm not going to make me mad. Anyways, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of hardship.
Inventory is full.
Take it. Bound up in the streaming style. Like I said, I don't think people see that. See the glory and the glam of it. It's like someone makes it to a high place and they're making the money. They have all these different like sponsorships. They might even have their own line and all sorts of cool stuff like that. They don't see all the challenge that comes. And I think especially in today's society, a lot of people know how to put long-term reward. You know, they're caught up in this like instant gratification, so they give up. Especially if this isn't like something that you love doing, whatever shit, and then putting it. It's never gonna be like super amazing. I don't know. I probably shouldn't say that. 'Cause what if I did get like super good at editing, and then I get a shit ton of fans, and then like they make like this compilation of the stuff I've said, and then I'm like a hypocrite because I went the exact opposite direction I said I was gonna go. Let's try not to do that. I mean, little hints. Let's try not to do that, little hint. Let's try and stick to the lifestyle. Let's not make stupid memes and then not follow. It's gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen. This kind of stuff I do, but I don't think I'll have a problem with this part because I'm never gonna be famous on YouTube. Plan to be. Don't necessarily. Whoa! What is that thing? Don't necessarily. But I mean, I even had a friend who was basically like, "Oh, being rich would be so amazing." And, no, I don't know. I just don't see money the same way he does. I guess. Stupid. Just waste. It's wristbands. Yeah, throw away something so that I can throw away this thing. Makes a lot of sense. But you know, he's like, oh, if I could be rich, you know, it'd be great, and yada yada yada. And that's why he wanted to get in YouTube, is because he's like, oh, I want to get. And the thing is, he doesn't ever make videos. And then he's very self-conscious about what he puts out there, especially like if we're playing a game like Call of Duty and it fucking suck. He doesn't want to post that. But to me, it's not about being great or sucking. To me, it's about the joy of it. I mean, some pretty funny stuff happens even when and even if you lose, there's nothing wrong with showing that you're human and not perfect. You know, I don't want to lie to people and make them think that I'm something that I'm not. Because that makes me and I don't do this because I want people to think I'm some amazing person and have this massive amount of clout and followers. Follow everything I do and say and think everything, believe everything I think, and I don't want that. What I want is I wouldn't mind having that I can play video games. I think that's the main thing. And I also like entertaining people. So I know if I could possibly make videos that end up being entertaining to, even if it was like I don't know, 10 people, I'd be fine with it. I don't give a shit. It's great. Like my video? Yeah, make another. And even if no one watches my videos, I just keep posting. So, I don't know why. It's just kind of an obsession I have.
Not enough energy.
I
Isn't ready yet.
don't even know if it made any sense. Let's kill this thing.
can't carry anymore. Inventory
Always.
is full.
Let's just go ahead back to change my home location. That's for sure. I think I'm gonna switch games. That's one thing. I think I'm gonna switch games. So go ahead and turn. So much for watching this wonderful video about. Or no, I'm done recording. That's not what I. But Asmongold to see him. I'm a little signing out. Much love. Peace.